So lovely, good evening Zambia, good evening Africa, and warm welcome to the bigger program right on KBN TV from Zambia's capital city Lusaka with me, Innocent Piri. Now Zambia is scheduled for the general elections this year on August 13th, 2026 to elect various office bearers at various levels, a local ward, mayoral council chairperson, parliamentary and presidential level. So far, preparations are underway under the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ. The commission last week announced that it will soon carry out a delimitation exercise aimed at creating 70 more constituencies from the current 156 constituencies in the National Assembly. However, the country's largest opposition political party, the PF, has in the last 4 years worked extra hard in confusion internally, while part of the confusion is said to have been sponsored by the government or state. On the other hand, the current independent opposition political parties seem to be struggling to improve themselves and also convince the masses in order to replace the party front from the second largest opposition political party. Now, Zambia Wake Up Party is one of those political party organizations scheduled to contest this year's elections under the leadership of Honorable Howard Kunda, the former Mchinga member of parliament who is son to late Zambia's vice president, State Council George Kunda. Mr. Kunda says Zambians must wake up and elect honest, credible, and patriotic leaders. The question we have this evening is Honorable Kunda or President Howard Kunda, one of those credible leaders we have in Zambia to be elected? That's a big question we have this evening on the bigger program. Welcome, Mr. President. Good evening to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good evening. It's always a pleasure to be hosted by yourself and to talk to our people out there through this platform, which is very important. Yeah. Right. So, and good evening, the viewers out there.
Thank you so much. That's the program we have this evening, and of course, my guest, as I mentioned, Zawapa President, Zambia Wake Up Party leader, Mr. Howard Kunda. You can follow the program via our social media platforms as a KBN TV Facebook page, as well as YouTube. But remember, we are found on DSTV channel 279, GoTV channel 27, and also Topsa Decoder channel 102. Mr. President, let's begin from here. Your party, Zambia Must Wake Up. Why should Zambians wake up?
First of all, let me state that it's Zambia Wake Up, and not Zambia Must Wake Up.
Zambia Wake Up.
Of course.
Thank you
so much.
In
other words, we want the Zambians to wake up because we feel that we have been sleeping for too long. This country has everything. Talk about land, talk about water. We are saying that water in the SADC region, we have the most fresh water. Surely, why should we be struggling with issues to do with agriculture? So the issues to do with mining, you see, we have all the minerals that you can talk about. Previously, people used to say that there is no gold in Zambia, but we have now discovered in this country that gold is everywhere. Wherever you step, there is gold. Wherever there is other minerals, there is gold. So you can imagine, this is now, I think, time for us to wake up. So that is why we came up with that name, because we believe that when we wake up and come and use our brains, our heads, because our symbol, mutwe, umuntu mutwe, without the head, you can't do anything. So we are saying when we wake up from this slumber that we have been in, then we use our heads. There is no way we can be told that you know, we have no capacity. When just in this country, even before independence, we were mining. In fact, in this land, over 600 years, this land has been mined. Surely, how can we say that we have no capacity? It means that we have been sleeping, because we can stand up and defend ourselves that, you know, we are able to mine. If we are able to mine, surely these people who come as investors, they come 10, 15, 20 of them, but the employment is in thousands. But then you say that you have no capacity. You are the ones who are mining. So these are some of the things that made us to think that, okay, we have been sleeping. Let's wake up our Zambians. There is no way somebody can come and tell us that, you know, they will bring down the price of mini meal to 50 kwacha, for example. And 4 years down the line, it is even more than, you know, the price that they found it at. Then
But
we
which
can say
problem
that
is that?
Zambians are awake. I think that we need to wake up so that we can remove this government that has been telling lies to the Zambian people, so that we can now bring in a government that will, you know, have the heart for the people and not to tell lies.
Zambians are already ever awake, if you ask me, President Kunda. The reason being that Zambians, whenever there is an election, they are able to turn up in numbers, huge numbers, and elect leaders. But however, what happens after an election is something which Zambians, or is a voter out there, do not have any control, because our job really, and their job really, is to vote, to elect you leaders in power. But the moment you are elected, whatever you do, we have no control about that. So how do you assume that maybe it is we who are fast asleep with the Zambians? Why not you, the leaders, who elect in power?
Yeah, thank you very much, IP, for that very important, you know, question. You see, we need to scrutinize leaders. In Zambia, for a long time, we have been doing try and error in electing leaders. Just because somebody is popular, or just because we don't want this one, then whoever will be closer, you know, we give him the mantle. I think that that should not be. That's why we are saying, let's wake up, scrutinize the Zambians, I mean the leaders. Us leaders who are putting ourselves on the table to want to do that which is supposed to benefit you, the Zambians. I think that it is very clear for us that this country, I think now, is ripe for us to wake up, and wake up for good. Of course, you know, one would say, no, there is fragmentation in the opposition, and therefore it is very difficult to get somebody. But we are saying that, yes, even as we are talking about unity, we need to sell ourselves, like I am doing now. I am trying to give the Zambian people the alternatives, so that even when we unite, at least people would have seen who a true leader is, who you know, a leader should be, how a leader should be, so that when they are there in the driving seat, they should be able to even be challenged. Because you see, you can't tell people that you are going to do this and then you sit quiet. You don't even apologize. Even when you find the headers ahead of you, at least you can go back to the people and say, oh, I didn't think that this is how it is. Please forgive me, but now we would want to move together let us move like this because this is the way it is. At least people would say, okay, this one, you know, there's humility. But you just keep quiet, and every time you, you know, you are approached, you say, no, everything is okay. Can't you see the dollar? Can't you see, you know, things are okay? But then people they are in poverty. Poverty has been increased by this government.
Wow.
So these are things that for us, and I'll tell you, for example, for us as Zambia Wake Up Party, we have seen where the problems are, and we would want to deal with those problems.
Right.
First of all, there is the issue of you know, separation of power, because that is where the biggest problem is. Once institutions are freed, then we are going to have a situation where our people who are tasked or who have been given the mandate to do certain things in those institutions will be doing it free from interference from anybody, because they will be free to do their work. But of course, all of us have seen that there's too much interference. Look at the operation of parliament, for example. Look at the operations of the judiciary. A lot of people have been talking. They have been giving examples. So I think that for us, we would want to have this separation of power dealt with, you know, completely, not just by word, but also by constitution, where the president, the executive, should not have any hand whatsoever in the operations of the judiciary, parliament, for example.
What are the signs you can point at to justify your point or your claims that currently there seem to be some forms of interference in the three arms of government, either by the executive or another arm of government? What are the basic examples you would give?
For parliament, the basic example that I can give you, how can a speaker be dancing when a bill was gone through? How? That bill was brought by the executive. It's only when there is interference. It's only when you are, you know, engaging with them. That's the only time you can
Others will tell you that
like
she's a member of parliament also. So
appointed by. So I think that these are realities. And for us, we want to assure the Zambian people that we want to come and do that which is right. We reduce the powers of the president, because we have deposited power in the presidency for, you know, appointment of the chief justice, appointment of the speaker, appointment of all these, you know, director generals, ACC, DEC, police, IG. We want to remove that. The president should have power only to appoint ministers, and those ministers should be appointed from outside parliament, because we want a parliament that will be free from the executive's hand. If we are going to talk about separation of power completely, I think that parliament should be there to make laws. When you want to become an MP, it should just be that, and not to want to become a minister. Because then you are watering down the work of parliament. So our thinking is that once we do that with parliament, the speaker should apply, there should be a board somewhere there to apply to, and even the swearing in ceremony should be done by the church mother bodies, because we want morality, integrity to be brought into this, because we are saying we are a Christian nation, and we would like Christianity, Christian values to be inculcated and be pushed at least in all these institutions. This is what we intend to come and do. The judiciary the same. They should be the speaker, the chief justice should be employed there by a board, eminent people, those from the laws, civil society, the church, all those represented. That is how we intend to give power back to the people, so that these office bearers should be fearing the people and not the president, because right now they think they can be fired. Judges, we have seen judges being removed even when the constitution is there is protection, but they use JCC, and they are just by recommending, and the president, whatever he wants, he does. So we need to remove those powers.
So clearly what you are telling me, President Kunda, is that we may have to do much of the reforms in the constitution.
Yes, no.
One more time.
Yes. You see, not partial amendments. We want the Zambian people to be involved. We need to do a thorough, dealing in as far as the constitution is concerned, from the people themselves. They have to, for us, our job is just to recommend,
right,
not to issue what we want in the constitution. We need the people of this country to be the ones to tell us, okay, we want this. We are going to propose, like I am proposing now, that we intend to reduce the powers of the president, and I'm sure the people out there will agree with me that the powers of the president are too much. Even now, IP, we have given him more power to nominate so many. And one would say, no, when you become president, then you are going to enjoy those same powers. For us, we want to come and do things differently. We want to bring about a different way of doing things, a different way of running the affairs of the nation. We are looking at the people. We want our people to benefit from the governance of this country, and we are calling upon the people to partner with us so that we can together run the affairs of the nation. That is why we are proposing that we would want the powers of these offices to be reduced tremendously. I can tell you that the president will have power, yes, but only to the extent that the people will give those powers. And I can tell you that he'll be able to appoint ministers. He will be able to appoint army commander, ZNS commander, ZAF commander, OP, director general, yes, PSAs. I think that because if we're talking about the executive, obviously PSAs and some of these directors,
they'll fall under the executive.
The executive,
right?
Yes, but when you talk about real issues like the police, IG should apply there. That's what we want, so that they can work freely. We don't want these institutions to be at the State House. We know that there is a gazette which was done immediately after taking office, where ACC, drug enforcement, police, all these, they report to State House. So then how do you expect them to do a proper and free work, free job, where when whatever they decide, we can say, okay, they decided. But in this case, we are always thinking. So this is, I think, for us, a very important undertaking,
right.
And we are promising the Zambian people not those promises of lies, but promises where we shall partner with the people and do these things. Have a people-driven constitution, repealed and replaced. That is what we need to do.
Take me back a bit. You are an experienced member of parliament yourself, of course former, but you've been in parliament for quite a while. You've gained a lot. This crusade or this advocacy of having, of wanting to separate or to create total independence in three arms of government has been there. If you ask the Mwanawasa, they talked about all these things. When you ask the Rupia Bandas, the late, he also proposed these things. If you ask the late Michael Chilufiasat under the PF as well, he was proposing that, look, we cannot have a one man having a hand in almost everything. When we come in, we're going to separate, we'll give it total autonomy to the three arms of government. Again, fast forward, ECO takes over, the late once again. He also envisaged to ensure that the three arms of government operate independently. ECO is gone. We've got President Hakainde Hichilema also stayed longer in the opposition to learn from all these lessons, bad lessons from the late predecessors, and also good lessons from his former predecessors. He said, look, when we come in, we're going to do some law reforms which will be progressive. And he was speaking to all these things. Appointment of, for example, ministers outside parliament. He also proposed to ensure that the IGs are appointed on merit. But the story is different. You've just cited an example of the gazette, which of course allowed him to now bring in the SEC, the Drug Enforcement Commission, all those now to begin to report from State House, away from the Ministry of Home Affairs, where those individuals used to report. So we can see that we seem to be going back as a country and progressing. Now, my question is, what comes in the minds or what enters the politician's mind that when you're elected, all of a sudden you change your minds and betray the people, including your own ways?
You see, what power does, it brings out the real you. That's what power does. Wow. So, unfortunately, this is exactly who this government is. Exactly who the president is. Now he has shown us openly, because he's exposed now by power. Yeah. So I think to say it correctly, I've already stated that, you see, what we need is for the people to scrutinize us. I've been a member of parliament from 2012 August up to 2021 August. I was a member of parliament for 2 terms. So, what I have done in this country, I think that people can see. I was, being told that you are a son to the vice president. So, therefore, we needed to hear some bad things about you. But, you know, when you are you, I think you will remain you. If you are IP, you will remain you as IP. So, you have the power, IP, to even chase me from here. But you have not done that. Why? Because you are IP. Power will just enhance who you really are. So all these problems that we are seeing, all these lies that we have heard, it's who they really are. It's just that simple. So we need to be scrutinized. That's why it's very important. Even myself, I am talking like this. When I am put there, I think I need to be ashamed if I go against what I am talking about. And I would, I would resign if I go against what I'm talking about. Why? Because we need, you see, I think morally, I would not be fit to continue saving the people when I have gone against what, I had promised. For example, these issues of saying that, no, we want to come and reduce the powers of the president. Correct. And I have stated some institutions, those, three arms of government, they have to be separated. They have to check themselves. Executive has to check the judiciary. Judiciary has to check executive. The same, parliament has to check judiciary. Judiciary has to check parliament. The same, parliament has to check the executive. Just like that. So that is what we are saying. And if I am morally upright, then I would have to resign if I go against, those morals and the integrity. I think, we have suffered to keep the integrity that we have.
We've got 4-5 months from now, we'll be having the general election, as I mentioned in my preamble. However, here is Zawapa and President Howard Kunda, a party which is not contesting the by-elections, for example, for starters, and you seem to be quite eager to contest the elections come August this year. Where are you drawing your motivation from if you are failing to test the waters so far?
You see, I've been on record where I've stated that, yes, it is important to participate, in by-elections. But, when you know that, there is this by-election and everyone from the ruling party side, the institutions, they have all the money, and you, the opposition, are struggling to find the money. Just to waste it when there is mobilization, when there is, party structures to visit, I think that we have to be prudent. And we have to weigh what comes first, what should be tackled first. And I think that strengthening the party is more important than going to participate in a by-election where everyone has gone. From Lusaka, for example, when you talk about Kasama, people from Lusaka, after the elections, the way, I was coming from Lusaka and going to the Copper Belt, I met them, some even vehicles breaking down, and they're in this regard, and of course they had won. Wow. But you see, we can't be wasting money this government has made it very difficult for us as Zambians, not just opposition, but as Zambians to find money. Later on, you find it, you can't even buy anything, tangible that you can say, okay, I had 1,000 here, and this is what I have bought. You go in ShopRite, 1,000 is nothing now. But you increase the salaries by 700 kwacha. And somebody was saying, that is 2 bags of mealie meal. Yes, 2 bags of mealie meal. But for the past 4 years, we have been, I think you see, even words are lost sometimes. But you see, this is how, difficult it is.
Right.
The people out there are suffering.
Right.
So we need, of course, they still have some time. The cabinet obviously in May will no longer be there.
Yeah.
But from now to May, let them show us that they are men and women of integrity, humility. If they have, you see them kneeling down, for people to vote for them.
Is your party really, how is your party preparing for these elections? I know that a general election is not, a small exercise or a small undertaking. It's a huge undertaking, as you know. You have to campaign countrywide. How is Zawapa preparing for the elections come August this year?
Yeah, we don't want to tell everyone that this is how we are doing it. But I think that for us, we are preparing ourselves for the upcoming election, the general elections. It will be very difficult because, as you know, they are now going to be, there's going to be 226 elected members of parliament. And even that, we were talking about this to say, you can't do this in this short space of time. That is connected to the delimitation also. You see, these things are supposed to be prepared for. You can't just 2 months, 3 months before the dissolution of parliament, then you say you are going to increase by 70, unless there is some mingalato somewhere that you are doing. One starts speculating, and you have not told even the people, the owners, you have not told them where this delimitation will happen. 3 months before the elections, the general elections. I think we need to be serious. This is a country. This is not a business or cantemba. No, this is a country where there should be, I think, fear. If you don't have the fear of God, at least fear the people who put you there. It is very important. IP, this country has been just, made to become just anything. Because, you see, you can't have a situation where 3 months before dissolution of parliament, and you have not told the people the 70 constituencies that you are going to create. And on what basis did they even come up with, or they are coming up with the delimitation? Because these 70, yes, we know that it is in the constitution now. It is law. But even this law implementation, maybe can wait until the following general elections after this, because there's no time. I can tell you there's no time. Now, there is the issue of the bill. That bill now, scrutinizing it will not be accordingly.
There's
because
not enough time.
there's no time. There's no time. So there are a lot of things that are being rushed. Why? Because we didn't want to hear what the other side were saying. And the other side is the opposition. And the people of Zambia, they said it, including the court. They said, no, this is illegal. You can't go on with this amendment to the constitution because you have not followed the guidelines.
Let's move on from the constitutional issue. Let's look at what seemed to be a loud song on the ground right now. Others are calling for a united opposition so far, and I know that there are some leaders who are calling themselves, or who are being called as council of elders, who are bringing all the opposition together and says, look, you have to appoint one person. Can you unite together and come up with a united opposition? What is your take over that? Is Zawapa part of it? Is Zawapa ready to unite with other fellow opposition political parties in order to unseat the UPND, if that is possible? But also, have you been consulted? Have you been invited? Have you been engaged by the so-called Council of Elders?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a very important, question that you have asked, IP. We have not been consulted. We have not been invited, so to say. But we are hoping that they will be able to come through to us and, approach us. Because we know that we need to unite. That is not in question. What is in question is after the unity, what next? Those are the things that we need to go and sit on the table and iron out. Because yes, we are saying that the Zambian people are saying that we need to unite. And once we unite, we need to have a plan of how we are going to run the affairs of the nation.
Right.
Because that is what is important. This government has failed to run the agriculture sector. It's in a shambles, it's in a mess. Why? Because they probably didn't have a plan. Because the past 4 years we've just been struggling. Yes, they can say we have had bumper harvest, but it's not them. It is the people who have struggled and pushed to grow that maize.
Not the goodwill of the government.
The goodwill of the government, it's very difficult. It is something that we can spend, I think, the whole day explaining. Because if there is goodwill, IP, when it is time to pay the farmers, I need to do that. That is goodwill. When it is time to take fertilizer, and you have promised that you are going to take fertilizer, that will be 6 bags, or is it 8 bags? And then you take 2, and they have to share in medals. Is that goodwill? So we have to, in fact, government should thank the people for making sure that there is a bumper harvest, which they sing about themselves and they praise themselves that they have achieved the bumper harvest. But tell me which farm that the government is growing maize on. maybe they talked about ZNS, they talked about, but that is just a drop in the ocean. The people who have been doing the cultivation are the locals, those peasant farmers. But those are the ones who cry and they go. You know, it is very shameful that in this day and age we should be allowing people to go and sleep along the corridors, wanting to access their money for the produce that they themselves produced and gave to the government, so that they can pat themselves on their backs that they have done this. I think that this government should do better. This time, up to now, they promised, they said that by 10th of last month, they would have paid all the farmers. But I can tell you, there are some farmers who are still waiting for their pay at banks. Yes, they can say that they have given the banks, but is it the bank's money or the money for the farmers? So why are they delaying? Why are they allowing people to use that part of that money for food while they are waiting for their money? Why should they be late to use for accommodation just to access the money? Why should we allow such kind of a thing when there are phones, when the network is there? Unless they are saying that there is no network, then we can understand, because we are humans and these things may happen. But on the issues of promises, when you say by 10th, it should be by 10th. And you see, our people have a lot of trust in us as politicians. When we tell them, they will follow that. You saw how the queues were there, you know, at banks. So many people. But I can tell you that some people have not been paid. Oh, of course, there are some explanations. No, see, there are receipts, what? But we have to do better.
Let's look at Zawapa in government. Let's come August this year.
So,
Zawapa.
I wanted to,
yes, please.
To say that Zawapa is ready.
Right.
It is ready, you know, for unity.
Right.
But it has to be unity of purpose, one. Secondly, it has to be unity to work together to remove this poverty that has been increased by this government.
Right.
To bring reforms, to ensure that these reforms we are talking about, we reduce power of the president. Because when you unite and you don't agree on these fundamental issues, you might find that maybe that one who takes up the role would want to have those powers so that they can be shaking. But then, what is there for us? I think that what is there is for us to work for the Zambian people, for the betterment of those future generations. Because it's not even about me, IP. It is about, for me, I zero it in my family. It's about my children's children. The fourth generation. That is what I look at. So whatever I'm doing today should be that which will benefit the fourth generation. That is the way I have been brought up by that man who went to the Lord in 2012 of April. Vice President George Kunda. State Council. He taught me issues that we need to respect the people. we need to fear God. Because when you have a fear of God, you will fear his people. And when you are given an opportunity to run any, anything on behalf of the people, because you have a fear of God, you fear to do wrong, when you are given that opportunity. So I'm a Christian, and a devoted Christian. I would want a situation where we, bring back that Christian value, that Zambia being a Christian nation in reality, corruption being fought, making sure that whatever is supposed to be for the people, it goes to the people. If we can't do it, we have to go and talk to our people, because they are the ones who God used for me to be where I am. So I will go to them and tell them how we are going to move is this. Why? Because this is how it is.
What do you make of the sentiments coming from some of your fellow members from the opposition, especially some lawmakers, who are saying, while you as a President Howard Kunda used to believe that this government has increased poverty in the last 5 years, in the last 4 years, and hence they have to be removed and usher in a party like Zawapa, which is going to, reduce the poverty levels. But there are other members of parliament from the opposition who are saying, in fact, this government has done better than any other administration before, serving MPs today. So they believe that UPND has performed far much better than President Akandeshima.
Yeah, you see, they can defend all they want, but it is about the people out there. How are they living? What are they going through? That is what is there. They can say all sorts of things because they want to please the paymaster. They want, in fact, now it is about adoption. If you say anything against, you are gone. You will not be adopted by the ruling party. So they will say all sorts of things. But it is the Zambian people themselves who are going to tell you the truth. And we are socializing with the Zambian people. They are telling us that they are suffering. And we are able to see. Because when you give them, sometimes I shed tears. You give somebody 20 kwacha, the way they want to kneel down, no, it shouldn't be like that. This country has everything, and we need to do that which will benefit the people. Not where you just want to be the one. No.
Let's talk about the mining sector. As Zawapa, if you are elected as a president and as a party in government, how would you ensure that the mining sector is, begins to give dividends to the people of Zambia? I'm citing this question because I know that President Akandeshima was in South Africa attending a mining indoor, and I spoke to a number of progressive things on how he intends to transform the mining sector.
Yeah, IP. Yes, we know that the mining sector is our cash cow. This is a sector that we need to milk, fill up the jars. But we haven't been doing that. We haven't been milking this cow enough to help us to put in agriculture, to put in health, to put in education, to put in all these other sectors, in energy. Why? It's because the leadership has decided. So, even us, we are going to decide. Now, we hear that there are tax incentives where in some areas these mining corporations are not paying taxes. They remove some tax and they say, no, you see, we need to have these mines recapitalized. We need these mines to help them. These are multinationals. They are making millions and they are taking money to their countries because they are foreign investors. They are not here to develop this country. They are here to take the profits to their countries, to go and develop their countries. What are we left with? Salaries. Surely. Can we develop using a salary? No. What are we left with? Hoes. Because they have dug. They have used ourselves. They have used us to mine for them, make those hoes, we give them, and they go. I am not shy to say this. For us, we feel that the Zambian people should be in the forefront of mining. Why? Because this is our cash cow. This is what will be used. This is what should have been used to develop this country. So, for us, our intention is that we need to partner with whoever would want to come to this country has to partner with us. First of all, government. There is no country where they have developed without government being involved in business. It's not possible. That's why we are just enriching, these companies, and they are taking to their countries to go and develop. For example, I can give you an example of China. I can give you an example of Singapore. How did they, turn around their countries, their economies? It is themselves coming first and making sure that whatever they do benefits themselves. That's the simplest way of doing these things. But then, we already have these mines. I think our resolve is, first of all, to go and demand that we sit down on the table and renegotiate some of these agreements.
Right.
That is, we don't want to chase them. But what we want is to go and sit down with them, countrymen or men from outside. Please, we have a duty to develop this country. So, because we have been given that duty, we need to sit down with you. There is no way you can allow a private foreign company, those who call themselves foreign investors. Yes, they may have a local company, but they are foreign investors. There's no way they can own a mining company here 100%. It's not right. It's not morally right.
When you look at the mining policy as well, it's something that leaves much to be desired, because some of these laws you're talking about, they've got more to do with the mining policy we have, which seems to be a little bit weak or porous.
It's not just about
or maybe
the
it's
policy.
The leadership.
You see, it is all to do with leadership. My brother, IP, it is about leadership.
Right.
Everything that we do, even here, for us to be seated here, there is leadership. You are leading. That's why we are here. But if the leadership is not there, it is sleeping, then everything will go to sleep. So, I can tell you, when the UPND won government, came into government, we had two mines, which for me I thought that the Zambian people now we will continue running. If we fail, we will learn from it, and we push. Because whatever happens, IP, it is not the foreign investors who come to mine here. It is us, the Zambians. Right. We are the ones who are mining and just giving them the resources to go and sell. So their part is management and selling. Mining is done by us, the Zambians, the locals. So surely, how can we fail to go and sell? How? So I must tell you that we need a leadership that is focused on wanting to develop this country, not wanting to do business. Because there are two different things. There is service delivery, there is also business. So if you want to run a country, it is service delivery. It is providing a service. That is government. It's not making a profit, it's not making money. But if you want to do business in government, then you have lost it. So, the other day, I think state this. The other day, I had issued a statement where I was saying that the health workers, volunteers, will be given an allowance when we form government. Right. The way they came like a ton of bricks and fell on the statement. No,
it sounded strange.
Yeah, but you see, it's just putting things in order.
They'll tell you that that's not realistic, that's not achievable.
No,
because
it is achievable.
And the justification would be that Zambia is broke right now. Zambia has no money. Maybe those are the comments we're getting.
Yes, but what are they saying? They are saying that they are doing very well. That's what they are saying themselves. But again, the same mouths are saying, they are they will not say it, directly that they are broke. But they will tell you, no, because when we had ordered that we get only 500,000 metric tons of maize, but we saw that the people had produced a lot, so we needed to get it 7 months, 8 months before you pay, and you say, no, you are doing well? No. I think the Zambian people, we need to wake up. And we use our heads.
Wow.
Nipamutwe, umuntu mutwe. We need to use what God has given us.
Wow. Let's look at our last segment now. I'll take you to the corruption, which has been a long battle, to end in our country, but not only Zambia. We can go around the world today. You find that governments are struggling to end corruption. Let's bring it back home. When you talk about the money sector and the huge amount of money which comes, which is made from there, others will tell you that this money is not being, utilized. Is not being seen here within our country. Much of these resources, they are being flown out of the country. Others will tell you that the money sector is also another bleeding point or sector where corruption is concerned. You are a man who has for a long time believed on matters of accountability. How do you plan to end, if any, but to reduce the corruption or maybe fight the corruption if elected into power as Zawapa?
Yeah, thank you very much. As you rightly put it, I was a Public Accounts Committee chairperson.
Correct.
And in the SADC region, I was the Secretary General. Commonwealth, I was also in the top 11 Executive Committee. So best practices in terms of accountability, integrity, those were the issues that we were dealing with. So to answer your question, I have already referred to the issue to do with the law enforcers. Once they are independent, then you will have solved 50% of the problem of fighting corruption.
Right.
Because I say so because we have heard and we have talked that this fight against corruption is it just on opposition? Because the previous government, the people from the previous government are the ones who are being arrested, they are the ones who are going to courts, but when you hear that that you have ministers being investigated, they tell you you can't even name them. But there is a law that until you are proven guilty, you are still innocent, like your names are. So, I think that we need to be serious with the fight against corruption. The first thing, remove them from State House.
Right.
Police, DEC, SEC, remove them. Then you are going to see that they will not be coming to the president, can we are investigating this, or can we investigate? I'm not saying that maybe they do that. What I am saying is that just by virtue of them reporting it to State House,
There's a compromise there.
That's it. It's finished. Because they can't, investigate somebody who is in the same government, same house. Even the president, if he does something wrong, the SEC should have power to investigate.
Why do you take the immunity?
Of course, they should investigate to prepare for that time when the immunity is removed. If there will be that time to remove the immunity. So, they need to have all these files put together. We can't allow the president to be doing wrong things just in the name of immunity. No. In America, there's immunity on the president. But we hear of some things. And in fact, Parliament there, the Senate, they sit, they discuss this openly. But here, when it is Minister and so-and-so, you hear, no, we shall, until the investigations are finished. Yeah, but tell us, who are you investigating? Tell us so that we know. In fact, if they are being investigated and there is an issue, the president should even say, oh, morally, the same person should stay away, stay aside, resign, so that investigations can be done properly. When it comes to prosecution, that can be done properly. That is a country that we want to see. And for us, as president of this republic, these are my words. I have, from the time that I became an MP, these are values. From the time that, my father was vice president, he inculcated these values. He taught me this. Even the Bible itself, it's about integrity. yes, it's about love, but there is integrity even in love. You can't lie. You are lying, but you are saying, you can, you can do these things without following what you say. So, these are realities. Fighting corruption should be done by the law enforcers, should be done by all Zambians. We need to instill the fear of God in people, but it has to take from the leaders.
Right.
The leadership has to be provided. You have to provide leadership. That's why you are there. But if you are not providing it, these are the issues. You start now talking about things that are not there.
I'll take you to, to talk about the corruption, of course. We will be taking phone calls in the next 2 to 3 minutes from now. So our dear viewers, you can actually follow the number which is on the screens for contribution. I have in the studio Zawapa President, Honorable President Howard Kunda, who is the leader of the Zawapa party. I wanted to also give a comment over what is currently being talked about. The forfeiture of properties by the ACC or Drug Enforcement Commission, and I've seen that Dalisolungu, he's lost quite a number of properties. We're talking about over 70 of his properties, the son to the late President Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. But based on that as well, that is under the fight against corruption. That's what the UPND and the President Akandeshima, they will justify that, look, we are fighting corruption, and look at all these properties have been grabbed in the spirit of fighting corruption. But when you talk about the former first family, you realize that almost the entire family is in court, has been, has entangled itself into these corruption issues or related corruption matters. We talk about the former first lady herself, Mama Esther Lungu. She is in court right now. You talk about Chieso Lungu as well. She's been in court, or she's in court. All those issues around. You can talk about Tasila Lungu. All these individuals, the entire family is in court. Is this a fight against corruption?
Yeah, it's very difficult, to describe this. First of all, I must tell you that for us, we are coming to heal this country. This country is broken. And we need to mend it. It is broken. Whatever they can say, whatever they can do, this country is broken. And I say that because we can't have a situation where we have a former president who ran this country, for 7 years. Who ran this country for 7 years? Ruled this country. A difference has occurred, and 8 months we have not put him to rest. This country is broken. It is broken. So what we need is to come and heal it. You see, the issues around the first family is about properties. You mean a president who ruled the country for 7 years cannot build the flats for the wife? Surely. I think that we need to heal the country. Even when we come in, President Hichilema should be, shouldn't be worried. If he was doing things correct, shouldn't be worried. Because for us, we are coming here to come and heal this country. We want this country run professionally. And that's why we are proposing all these issues. To talk about, Daliso, losing those things, and announced before the father is buried, I think that we need to be humans. We need to show that human part of us. And the reason is that he didn't come to prove that he got them correctly. That's what I read.
Yeah.
But he's mourning. 8 months. He's in South Africa. You want him to come and leave the father's body, the mourning time that we have given them over 8 months, to come and start answering to properties. I think it is okay. For me, I would say, okay, no, let me mourn my father. And what will people think of, this government, these law enforcers, even if, and the fact that they are linked to, State House, because they are there. They report to State House. What will people think of them? I think that we need to be, very sensitive on some of these issues. It is an African. We say that in Africa we respect the dead, and we don't want to, for lack of a better term, to want to inflict pain on those that are mourning. We are Africans.
President, just hold on a little bit. So let's pick up a few calls and hear what our viewers are saying. Caller, good evening and welcome to the bigger program.
This is Chongo Brian calling from Zambian.
Mr. Chongo Brian, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, I'm just trying to pick my ladder from Fumu.
Yeah, Mkwaiwa Brian.
Changwe.
Changwe Brian.
Changwe Brian from Zambian.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Chang.
From Fumu, Mulanda Sogwino. Mulanda Sogwino from Fumu. Keep it up. I should just praise you for what you are saying. Just saying the truth. We have, should I say, I want you to have a structure like here.
Okay.
Establish a structure here in Zambian.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Changwe.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. You can call me. The number is right on your screens. I have in the studio Zawapa President in Honorable Howard Kunda. Please call us. The number is right on your screen. Within a minute, you can give your question or perhaps your clarification. Caller, good evening and welcome to the program.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Tell us your name, please, and where you're calling us from.
I'm a senior citizen from Secheke.
Senior citizen, go ahead.
Yes, but when HH fails, we are going to take that house to be police, to be a house for rent, for hotel. It will be a hotel. His house people's house, it will be a hotel. That's it.
Thank you so much, senior citizen. We also appreciate your contribution from Sesheke. You can also call us. The number is right on your screens. I have President Howard Kunda, who is Zawapa leader, of course, discussing various issues around governance, as well as the opposition's preparedness ahead of the elections this year, in the next 4 to 5 months. Caller, good evening and welcome to the program. Hello, good evening.
Evening, sir. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. And how are you?
I'm okay.
Tell us your name, please, and where you're calling us from.
Mulitani mwemfumuko.
Mkwaye mbulishani.
Uno wino mtare calling from Solwezi.
Go ahead, Mr. Mtale. You've got a minute.
Kwena iye kulanda mlefu ndola shewino echo ningate mutira twabombera poimwe na ine n'abana abantu bambe baleto nkono kutamba kutira ngapumwa chondola ko batimipusha okutira pokutira tuingamende chalopo chona ike tufwe twabombera pa muna ma opposition nde mwana kwati according na fabale fondolola opposition ningalanda kola ike alliance batonse kwena nde mwana kwati bali open I'm sure nampala mwachanda to say you are open even yourself that even if they can approach you, you are well open ukuthi asimaomba na vena number pambe mponde fwa utati nandeko nabo pena apa jashida corruption adeki na wambira bashala plus na sofu ina mlandirepo ndebo nakwatimbi mumune mwechilandira ukutira bafuire bayibera abantu bafuire bayibera aba bafuire bare bombe chito bafuire kubomba abana bena bafuire kubomba chito bare bomba like mdala wa mkulanda and I don't mean to attack him wanda so kwatimbi mwaiche how come ngasa jada mara twala pangama
Hold on. Just give your contribution. Don't refer to the previous call.
Yeah. For your guidance. Ndio mwakwatimbi poropo mwachipusha according na fuwa mda wa chasuka kwena. Iteti mulefi mwebantu fi mwabale tontonkanya bwino. Mulefi sende fino fuwa lefi sende lamo. Abantu bali rosha kwenta balapona okulosha abapentu ali mwana siti bali poke aba sister watasira lungu. Tapala putana mamansi abo banda tyo wapoke FP nomba ero bakabwera nga bakubwera bakesa ekalashani mukutontonkanya kwenu kubo abene balefi bomba ndebona kwatimbi mukuti atitwinga kumenda kino ekyalo twayekata na ma opposition twamwa twinga kita the way forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you as well. All right, President, I will allow you to just respond.
I think Rachangwe, you are welcome to join us. Zambia Wake Up Party is not for one person, it's not for our Kunda, it is for the Zambian people. We are saying, tieni tubuke, tuwonte umutwe. So establishing, a branch or establishing a structure there, I think that that is something that we would want to encourage. I think I'll give out a number, right, so that you can contact secretariat, and let's work together. This is our country. There's no one who's coming to develop this country for us. It is us to develop it. The senior citizen from Sesheke, he says when the president is out, they will come and turn the house into a hotel. I think that, even if we want to remove the president, I think that his rights should be protected, because we want to heal this country. So we want to, respect, not just protecting, but also to respect that office. I'm sure in one way or another he has done well. We haven't gone to war. Obviously, as the commander-in-chief, he has done something. So what we are crying on is that, yes, he has failed to address the food, the prices of commodities, the living standards of our people, I think has been worsened. I think the issues to do with the poverty levels, it was around 60%. Now we are told it's about 72%, which is a 12% increase in the poverty levels. And then, we say that he has done well in that area. I think that would be cheating ourselves. But in as far as respecting is our head of state, and we need to accord him that respect. There is Mr. Mutale Solwezi say working together with other political parties. I think I have tackled that one. We are willing to, to work with other people, and we are putting a very big but, because it is not just about removing President Hakainde. It is also having a plan. What next after removing President Hakainde? Because our goal should be for the people's welfare to be improved, and not just removing the president now, and then we continue doing the same things. I think that we are very clear about that. So whoever would want to work with us, I think that they would need to hear our position as well, because in the opposition we need to have a level playing field. Even when we go to sit on the table, we shouldn't have a predetermined solution. We have to have solutions that everyone will contribute.
Right.
Yeah. So then ACC, we have talked about ACC, DEC, that they should be separated, the fight against corruption, and that we should have human hearts. You can't, subject people who are mourning to losing, even if, we just want to grab these things. At least give them chance. And for that matter, you have taken them to court. Obviously, the courts will take their time. And during that time, the seat is removed, nullified, it's vacant, and there's a by-election. Again, vehicles are gone, what? We are not saying that you shouldn't fight corruption, but we need to fight it, bearing in mind that these are humans, and their father who ruled this country for 7 years is no longer there. Surely we need to be, I think, humans. I think that is what I can say.
What?
And
You
only
can-
to thank the people.
You can give out a number as we go, President.
Yeah, the number that you call is, 0968 910 554.
Right.
0968 910 554.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure the viewers have managed to pick that number coming from Zawapa President Honorable Howard Kunda. Thank you so much, Comrade President, for coming through. We hope to see you soon again.
I'm very grateful, and it's always a pleasure to be hosted by yourself on this very important platform. The last time I appeared here was when we were debating.
But the Bill 7.
Yes, about Bill 7, which passed into law, but it has brought a lot of problems now. So I think that, this country deserves better.
Right.
And we are ready, we have prepared ourselves to run in all sectors,
Right.
to run the affairs according to the partnership with our people out there.
Thank you, President. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You.
All right, I've been speaking to President of Zawapa Zambia Wake Up Party in Honorable Howard Kunda. This has been the bigger program with me, Innocent Piri. can simply call me IP, of course. Thank you so much. May God bless Zambia. May God bless Mother Africa. Good night and see you tomorrow.